Hi everyone. How many of you are writing prelims first question? Okay, sizable number. So I will keep it brief for your time as well. But yes, as he mentioned already, I have been fortunate enough to be rank 11 this year. I think he's done all the introductions right for me. So if I were to directly get into how I did it, see, whatever I'm supposed to talk to you about my strategy here. But please remember, this is how I cracked it. Someone else will give you a different version of how they cracked it. There is, I don't think, a one version of how to crack the UPSC. So listen to me. If it works for you, great. Doesn't work, figure out your own strategy. I'll tell you what I did. So I'll just break it up into the process that this examination is. That's the prelims, the mains, and the interview. So starting with the prelims, I think that is what's coming up, most important. I think you have 30 days odd to go, maybe a month. Limit your sources at this stage. I think everyone would have told you this by now. Figure out what you want to study from where and just stick to it and revise thoroughly. If you take history, I only did the NCERTs. NCERTs for medieval, for ancient, for modern India, even for art and culture, which is I think everyone dreads the most. Where will that come from? NCERT. Nothing beyond that. Polity, Lakshmikant. Know it page by page. You should know what chapter has what articles and where is tribunals in this and where is all your constitutional bodies. So know your sources, try and limit them. And the second thing that I would say at this stage for the prelims is going to be do your mocks well. I mean, I used to do a mock a day in the run up to the exam. And trust me, that's what sailed me through. When I used to write the mocks, for example, I did about 80 mocks before I went in for the actual prelims, which was I think on the 3rd of June last year. So I did 80 mocks, and in that I realized that there is no cutoff you can work with. I need 110, I need 120, the paper will determine the cutoff. So don't work with a cutoff. But what I realized was that I have to at least attempt 80 plus questions to feel at least confident that I'm in the game. That's what I used to work for. I will try and do 80 plus questions. And throughout that process, I tried to do that. But when I went for the exam, I read the paper and I realized, boss, I can't do 80 questions. There is no way I'm going to do 80 questions. I'm going to go into the negative if I try. I did 60, 65. So that understanding that, yes, this is a tough paper, this is how much I want to guess, or this is how much I know for sure, that comes with mocks. No one can ever finish the syllabus for this exam. It's massive, especially the prelims, I think is the toughest part, at least that's what I felt. So you will never be able to say, oh, I'm completely prepared, I have everything. Revise what you have, and if you do the mocks, you'll have the understanding to know whether what is the element of how much I know and how much I want to guess. Again, this is also something which everyone will say, you'll know 40 to 50 questions. Good day scenario, 50 questions. Sleepy day scenario, 40 questions. That's the range. Everyone, we all have the same body of knowledge. That's how much I knew. Beyond that, it's going to be intelligent guessing, smart guessing. Engineers have a different formula of guessing. Everyone has a guessing formula. You will also have one. So that works. But how much of it you want to do is something mocks will prepare you for. So that's what, I'm not an engineering student. I actually struggled with prelims a lot more because I did not have this an analytical mind to say, I'm going to do this way and this is the number I get right, this is the number I get wrong. So I had to work a lot harder. Some of you might have to work less hard on that, but this is what I did. So for the prelims, I think really just two things at this stage. Go ahead, do whatever you are doing, don't pick up anything new. I mean, I've sat on the other side and I've also heard people say, there was this one question that came from this particular book. Wo verbatim aa gaya tha. So everyone's going to try and read that book. Don't do it at this stage. Actually, don't do it at any stage if possible. Whatever the sources you have figured out work for you, stick to them. I mean, that is the static portion of the exam. For the more dynamic and the current affairs, I personally did PT 365, and that is what, apart from reading the newspaper, a lot of people have asked a question that, should we stop reading the newspaper 15 days before the exam, 10 days before the exam? When can we stop reading the paper? I didn't stop reading the paper. Everyone will tell you they didn't stop. Maybe in the morning of the prelims, ideally a lot of people will say read that day also. If you don't, it's okay, I guess. But till the day before, I read it every day. Because if you're referring to here, the PT 360, or whatever is the general studies material, add on your knowledge to that bank. Because a lot of people do is they underline a newspaper, they make a separate notes for the paper. When are you going to revise your PT 365, your static portion, your notes? The more you spread it out, the more difficult it is going to be at the stage of the revision. Try and make it more consolidated for yourself. So I just had, like for example, I had those booklets and I had my own notes on them. Just don't swear by any one thing. Have your own understanding. Read a paper. Whatever you understand which is new, different, add it on. But consolidate your notes. Going forward for prelims as well as in the mains, this is going to be really helpful. For my mains answers, I drew on everything I had done for the prelims, because data is what you learn here. Static push, what are the percentages, how you want to start an introduction, your prelims will feed into your answers in the main stage.